Breaking news coming out of the Supreme Court this morning, where crowds gathered as the final decisions of the session were released. Among the decisions, some controversial cases, including one at the center of President Trump's immigration policy. In fact, in the last hour, the court ruled on two cases as well involving transgender athlete bans. In both cases, the court said states do have the right to maintain female sports teams only for biological females. More than half of U.S. states have tried to enact laws preventing biological males who identify as transgender women from competing in women's sports. The court also ruled on a case involving campaign finance. The ruling further loosens spending limits on political donations to campaigns, making it easier for donors to put big money into those campaigns. Finally, and arguably the most consequential case of the term, the court struck down President Trump's executive order trying to remove birthright citizenship. That's the case that News 4's Juliana Valencia is focused on this morning. Juliana joins us live from outside the Supreme Court with reaction. Juliana?
Hey there, Erica. Good morning. So the outcome of that birthright citizenship case, it was expected to be the most consequential of the rulings from the Supreme Court's term. And in a 6-3 dissent, the Supreme Court ruled that the Trump administration's executive order violated the citizenship clause of the 14th Amendment, leaving those lower court rulings in place. So in that 6-3 decision, Chief Justice John Roberts concluded that, quote, citizenship then and now was the right to have rights to freely participate in our political community. The framers of the 14th Amendment extended that promise to every freeborn person in this land. We keep that promise today. Chief Justice Roberts adding, if Congress intended to limit American citizenship to the children of those domiciled in the U.S., nothing in the succinct language of the citizenship clause conveyed that design, end quotes. Now, lower courts, they'd already blocked the executive order from the president, finding it likely violated the 14th Amendment and longstanding precedent. I was out here the morning of those oral arguments for the birthright citizenship case in April. You may remember President Trump, he attended in person, and that was significant because he was the first sitting president to attend oral arguments, not to mention for a case that focuses on the constitutionality of his executive order. But back out here live, based on the court's ruling of the president's executive order, birthright citizenship, it stands as it was intended. Back to you, Erica.
And as NBC News legal correspondent Laura Jarrett pointed out this morning, it was likely that the president read the writing on the walls even before decision day as he left the high court during all of those arguments. Juliana, I have to ask you sort of about also the feel out there. Are you surrounded by groups of people? Who's out there this morning?
You know, typically, Erica, I've covered many rulings and oral arguments, and usually there is a crowd of people, like from both sides. But today was pretty sparse. Not a lot of people here for or against. But I do want to point out here to our left, Dave, we have some members from the ACLU. They were definitely ecstatic about the ruling in the birthright citizenship case. I know our Mauricio Casillas, he's out here this morning, too. He is definitely interviewing them, getting reaction. But, Erica, compared to times in the past, this is pretty desolate.
All right, Juliana Valencia live for us this morning. Juliana, thank you.